Okay, so getting your heart broken is something that's going to happen to men likely several times in your life. I mean, I've dated girls where I've been the one that broke up with them, and then I've dated girls where I have been broken up with. When you get broken up with somebody, the reason why they hurt so much is because you're not making that choice to end the relationship. It's just being taken from you. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about why heartbreak is actually the best thing that happened to me, and I'm going to touch on my most recent relationship just because that one was the one that stung the most, as it's also the most recent experience of going through heartbreak that I have, and that'll be more relatable to you guys. I just want to make it clear, I'm not going to talk about like the girl in this video. I might touch on maybe parts of the relationship just because it goes into shaping me to become the man that I am today. Right off the bat, I remember I told this girl when she broke up with me, she wanted to remain friends. I was like, you breaking up with me was the best thing that you've ever done for me. Because the relationship felt one-sided. After she broke up with me, I tried to move out of this girl's house a couple times. I remember I got to a point where even I wanted to see other people, but yet I kept finding a way to try to make this relationship work. And I knew in that relationship that I wasn't fucking happy. But at the time, I thought, like most men do, that, well, if I can do stuff to make the relationship better, maybe this will get better. And it takes two in a relationship to make a relationship work. And remember this, a relationship can't exist if there's no communication between the two of you. And she wasn't willing to communicate with me inside of that relationship. Remember what I just said right there, that her breaking up with me was the best thing that she's ever done for me? I mean that I think 100 times more today than I did back then. The man that I am today, I'm pretty sure even my mom told me that she was like, I can see the changes and I'm so proud of you. Let's just go into some of the things that like I've like changed. So everything happens for a reason, okay? So whatever happened couldn't have happened any other way. So her breaking up with me, for whatever reason, because I still don't know. Us splitting had to happen at some point, and it couldn't have happened any other way the way that she did that, okay? But where I'm at today, this house I live in today, the career that I have today, the confidence and social skills that I've developed, the amount of women that I've met today because of this, how good I've gotten at filtering out women like my ex-girlfriend that are very insecure, so that way I know that the next girl that comes into my life, I can likely be in a long-term relationship with. The money I make, the like just overall happiness and just more mature and emotionally better off as a man, I wouldn't be if it wasn't for this girl breaking up with me. Like if you're going through a heartbreak right now and it's still like new, you're not going to be thinking this way yet. If you're going through heartbreak and it's recent, you're going to be fucking hurting. And you're likely going to be fucking hurting for a long time. And I will still admit, because I'm still single right now, there are times where I still look back at this relationship and I still think about this girl, but it doesn't hurt me. My thought patterns went from I miss her to, you know what, I'm likely better off without her, and here's why. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Am I saying that this is going to happen to you? No, I'm not. But I'm just telling you what's going on with like what's happening with me. Time has a funny way of showing you like reality and changing things, okay? So when you get broken up with originally, you're going to distort reality. And you're not going to look at reality for what it is. You're going to tell yourself things because you missed that relationship. But once time passes and you start improving your skills and you get enough clarity on where, clarity is in like you can look back at your relationship and be like, okay, she did that, I did that. Well, that's who she was, that's who I was. Over time, you're going to start being like, you know what? I was in something that I really shouldn't have been in. I was the guy in my past when I was younger, and I did it with this girl too. I will admit that. I did what I'm going to tell you right now with this girl. I was the guy that if I started talking to girls, I would hang on to the first girl that showed me attention, the first girl that I thought I could get into a relationship with. And I did that with this girl. Now, to be clear, this person-wise was a phenomenal woman, but relationship-wise, this was it was a nightmare. I never knew what I knew now about attraction, about how men and women behave and think. And I coach men now on how to have like healthier, like pickup skills, dating, relationships, and more of like a life coach for men. Okay, I didn't start doing this up until this recent heartbreak, but back then I never sat down and actually mapped out like what it is that I want in a woman. I know I'm someone that's really good at communicating, so I would also want a girl that's really good at communicating. This girl did not communicate, but yet I stayed in that relationship because my emotions were outweighing my logical thinking. My emotions told me to ignore all the red flags for as long as I did. And ultimately, I ended up getting broken up with, and rightfully, I deserved that. I deserved to get broken up with because I, as a man, let my emotions dictate my decision making. And so I got what I deserved. The sting that I felt from this heartbreak, I got what I deserved because I didn't leave sooner when I knew I should have. I'm not saying the relationship was like entirely a bad thing, because it wasn't. Okay, there were times where it was fucking wonderful. The first 6 months that we dated during that honeymoon phase, she was a great girl. But then after I moved in with her, that's where things really fucking changed. That's who she showed me who she really was. And I wasn't able to see that up until it'll be a year, I think, in like a week or two. So I don't know if you can hear my kitten screaming right now. I don't know. I can't stop her. But now that we've been split for almost a year, I can look back and be like, dude, I know exactly who she was now. What she did to her past relationship, she did to me. And now I'm able to see that with full clarity. Why was this the best thing that's ever happened to me? I went from a marketing background where I enjoyed it, but I really didn't like love it, to now I started becoming like more of like a life coach, if you will, for like men. I'm helping men understand and build better skills so they can become better men and have a better life. What I'm doing now, helping other guys, I am so fucking passionate about. It's so enjoyable. I'm doing what I'm good at. Talking. I get to talk to a camera, build a YouTube channel. I get to talk with other men. I get to help other men avoid going through the same shit that I dealt with or that I've been through. It's a good feeling. I'm very passionate about what I do now. So not only did my career change, but my living environment change. I went from a 2-story house with her. Now I live in a 1-story house that's bigger. Because I'm in a wheelchair, that's a big deal. I don't have to go up and down stairs, and I have low blood pressure just to get around. I've got I have a garage right there, and so like I've got like me getting around. I'm in a better, newer neighborhood that's safer than the neighborhood she was in. Now, granted, I'm a little farther out of the way. Like it took me 2 minutes to get to our gym, and it takes me about 15, 20 minutes to get to that gym now. But I mean, like I'm in a brand new area, in a brand new house, in a very safe neighborhood. Like kids run up and down my street all the time. My neighbors all know each other. I don't think my neighbors ever spoke to each other in that last neighborhood. Now let's talk about like the man that I've become. When I went through this heartbreak, we do more to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure. When you get broken up with, in order for you to not feel that pain anymore, you're going to, this is assuming that you're a man that is able to take accountability for your actions. I can look back at this relationship and point out almost every single thing that I did wrong that would turn off any woman moving forward. Why? Because I acted more like a girl in that relationship. I mean, I could look back at my behavior in this relationship and be like, God damn, Mitchell, dude, that is not you. When you get in a situation with a girl where you're really in love with and your emotions take over, you don't think like you should. Back then, I used to double text, triple text, send her like I used to send her pictures of the cats all the time. What's that thing I used to say? So if the girl knows that you like her more than she likes you, she's gonna end up like taking you for granted and not caring as much. And unfortunately, that was the case back then. My behavior back then is totally different now. I'm more of a man now because I grew up without a dad. I was raised by a woman. So I grew up basically acting like a woman because I've never had a man teach me, hey, this is how you really need to behave when it comes to dealing with women. And so I've had to teach myself all of this stuff on my own. So my behavior now is more like manly than it was womanly, which is why I'm very confident in knowing that my next relationship is going to be more healthy and I'm going to be more the man and she's going to be more of a woman, simply because my behavior, I've done the work and still am doing the work to change the way that I behave into more of a manly figure. There's also another thing too, that whatever you observe, you participate in. So the movies, the videos on YouTube, the things you hear online, or the memes you watch, the more of that you watch, you're going to start slowly filtering into your subconscious that that's okay. If you look at like Disney movies where the girl breaks up with the guy does like begging, pleading, and chasing and grand gestures and doing all these shit to get the girl back, and it wins her over in the end. That doesn't work in real life. In fact, this was actually the first girlfriend that I did not beg, plead, and chase. I went straight into no contact and moved out 20 days later when she broke up with me. This was before I even knew any of this stuff. So I did the right things without even knowing I was doing the right things. I've been working for myself since 2016. Remember, I just told you I used to be an advertiser. So I've studied sales, marketing, psychology, human behavior, accounting. Fuck, I've got a bookshelf, like 150 books in there. But I have never have I ever studied things relating to my personal life, which is pickup, dating, and relationships. So I have been lacking this skill set my entire life. Now, I've always been good with women. I mean, I talk to more girls than I do men. Again, I attribute that to growing up with my mom. So being around a woman, I naturally find it easier to talk to women than I do men. If I had to choose, I would talk to a woman over than a guy. So I've never had like trouble when it comes to socializing or talking to people. I'm very fucking extroverted. Holy shit, dude, I'll talk to anybody. Look at the way I talk when I film these videos. But I never studied what attracts women, why women behave the way they do, how men should behave, laws of attractions. I've never studied like relationship skills, like long-term relationship skills. I've never studied attachment styles. I've never studied like what makes a relationship last, which is why I said it takes two, and you can't have a relationship if there's no communication. So my pickup skills, meeting new women, so much fucking better than they've ever been in my life. My dating skills now, so like, I mean, I used to go on dates with girls where like at the end, like if they invited you out into like a public setting with groups, like they had their friends, or if you go on a date with a girl and like you just get a hug at the end, or like you kiss her on the cheek, or now, so like I'm very good now at pointing out, like if I go on a date with a girl, like if she doesn't kiss me at the end of that date, that she just doesn't like me enough to give me a kiss. So it's like, why would I want to go on another date with that girl? Before this, I would have done that. Before this, I would have been like, okay, well, I got to hug this time. Well, then let me try again and see if things change. But now I'm like, I don't even know if I want to give you a second chance. I'm not willing to continue dating somebody that's not as into me as I'm into her. Like, if I'm going to come out and spend my time and money on you and you're just going to give me a hug at the end of the night, dude, fucking kick rocks, man. Okay, women get validation through getting attention from men. Men get validation from physical intimacy. So if I'm just getting a hug, that's not a fucking kiss. That's not having sex. And I'm not saying I need to have sex on the first date. But like if I'm spending $100 on you and like 4 hours of my time to be with you and you're just going to give me a hug, dude, you can give your friends a hug. Do you see what I mean? That I'm not okay with that anymore. Because I know what it is that I want. And I'm not willing to settle for like scraps. And I'm not willing to settle for a girl that's just going to treat me as like an option. No, I want to be with a girl that wants to be with me. But again, I wouldn't have known all this stuff. I wouldn't have become aware of this if it wasn't for this girl breaking up with me, forcing me into a position to where I'm like, I'm fucking done getting my heart broken. Like, this fucking hurts. I need to become a better person so this doesn't happen again. So I started studying, everything I said, pick up, dating, and relationship skills. So not only am I 10 times the man that I am today due to this heartbreak, I now have the knowledge to be able to look back at what my relationship actually was, knowing that that would have never worked out long term, and I would have wasted my time being with somebody that just wasn't emotionally available. And now I live in a much better house in a newer neighborhood. I'm happier. I'm healthier. I look better. I'm richer. My social life is much better. And I'm not willing to settle for women that just aren't going to give me what I as a man deserve. This is why I said her breaking up with me was the best thing she's ever done for me. Please watch this video a couple times, and I just want you to see how this is over a course of 1 year. The man that I am today is so much fucking better of a man than if I was a boy back then, I'm a man now. That's how I look at this. I'm better with women. I'm more knowledgeable with how women behave. I know like my business skills are now like better. I'm doing something I actually love. Like I said, I'm happier. I'm healthier. My social skills, my confidence, my mindset is so much fucking better because of this breakup. Remember what I said, guys. Everything happens for a reason. This breakup happened for a reason, and that was to shape me into the man that I am today. And if I had to thank this girl for doing anything for me, it would be this right here. For her allowing me to become the man that I am today. So if you like this video, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And listen, if you have anything that you want to share down below about heartbreaks that you've been through and how you become a better person, please say them in the comments down below so us, like myself and other guys, can read them as well. And hey, if you're a guy right now that is going through a heartbreak or you need help in pickup, dating, or relationships, book a one-on-one coaching call with me down below. There's a link in the description. Let me help you. I know I can. Let me help you. Work with me for an hour. Take some notes, and you'll become, hopefully at the end of that call, you'll be able to start understanding why I can say the shit that I do in these videos. Hey, if you like this video, guys, gentlemen, check out this one right here. You're going to like that one as well. And guys, I will catch you in the next one.